Hello and welcome to this breathwork or pranayama practice. In this session together, we're going to focus on one of the most fundamental pranayamas, if not the first pranayama described in yogic texts, called Nadi Shodhana. We might call it alternate nostril breathing in a more modern setting. This is such a profoundly impactful practice, and one of my favorite things about it is that it brings a state of balance and clarity into the brain, the mind, and the body, and all of the sort of connection that we have between these polarizing qualities that we all have within ourselves. We can fundamentally kind of distill them down to masculine and feminine qualities, but on another more physiological scale, we might just call it the left and right hemispheres of the brain. There are lots of studies done on this scientifically about how it brings a sense of coherence to the left and right hemispheres of the brain through something called the corpus callosum, the big connecting band of fibers between the two sides of the brain. And so the net result, hopefully, is one that brings a state of ease to the body, firstly, a state of clarity and harmonization. Some of us might feel a sense of kind of cleansing and flushing, and a lightness coming from that. My biggest and most favorite part of Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing, is that it kind of gives us what we need in any moment. If we're a little bit overly excited, it can help to just dampen that a little bit. And if we're a little low in energy, it can kind of just kindle the fire a little bit to bring us up into a bit more of an energized state. And so hopefully what we experience from this is a calm alertness. And I think if you were to put yoga or breathwork into a nutshell, that's a thing we're kind of looking for, a calm alertness. So let's start. We'll start in a seated position together, get nice and comfy, and I'll meet you there. So as you find your seat, create a little bit of lift into your lower back, just so that you're not crunching down onto your belly space. We've got a nice feeling of structure in the spine, but not so upright that it's making you feel fatigued or it's creating any kind of stress. From there, let's go ahead and shut down the eyes and pretty immediately take a nice long deep breath in. Soft and releasing breath out. Letting the shoulders relax and the jaw relax. Let the cheeks soften and the eyes soften. And just take a few moments to let the body land. We always start any breath work and pranayama practice with awareness. And it's not any old awareness. We start to bring a sensitive awareness. And so noticing the sensations of your body, tuning into the felt experience of the body, and then immediately directing that towards the feeling of your breath. All of these practices are based on extending the breath. And so here, as you start to deepen your breath, start to slow the breath. As you're breathing in, imagine that you can send that inhale down to what feels like your lower back. Let it rise sideways into the side bodies. There's a little expansion into the belly, but no force. So the belly remains soft. It's going to expand, but no need to force. You let the breath rise up into the chest, lifting the rib cage. Keeping your shoulders absolutely soft through this process. Now start to slow down your exhalation And we're just setting up the entire practice with this slightly deeper, slightly slowed down breath. Everything needs to remain absolutely comfortable with your breathing. And it's critical that you don't let the practice at any stage create any form of stress. So if you need to back it off, no worries, back it off. From this extended breath, let's begin with the practice. So with your right hand, bring the thumb up towards your right nostril. Wait for an exhalation. After that, block your right nostril and start to breathe in through your left. At the top, switch it over, and with your ring finger, block your left nostril and breathe out through the right. You'll come back in through your right nostril and then out through your left. And rinse and repeat. Back in the left. Switch it at the top and breathe out through the right. You come back in the right and then out through the left. Keep on going and see if you can do it by yourself as I just guide you into a bit more refinement. Keep paying attention to the lower belly space, the lower back. Let this space feel receptive to the breath. Let the breath come way down into that portion of the torso. Shoulders soft. Spine still a little bit lifted. And the jaw nice and loose. Tongue resting to the roof of the mouth. And we try and make this feel just as soft as possible. And so the breath takes on this feeling of just sort of floating in and out of the body. There's a lightness to it. And there shouldn't be any great force. And now just for the last 2 or 3 rounds of this breath, see if you can breathe in for about 5 or 6 seconds and breathe out for about 5 or 6 seconds. I'm going to leave you in a little bit of silence, but see if you can really tune in to the felt experience of your breath. 5 or 6 in, 5 or 6 out. A couple more by yourself. Final round, and end by breathing out through your left nostril. To follow that, sit for a moment, Just letting your breathing return to normal, what feels like normal, no control. And just being receptive to the unfolding impact of the breath. Recognize any experience, and no explanation or description is necessarily needed. Just being with this moment, being with the breath, being with the body. And noticing a complete lack of separation between you and your breath. Give yourself an extra few moments. If you want to lie down, now's a good time to take a micro shavasana, a rest, laying down on the back. We're just staying seated for a few more moments, giving yourself a nice, gentle transition. When you feel ready, we start to very gently blink open the eyes, keeping them soft. Hope you're feeling at ease, at peace, energized or calmed, or a beautiful balance of the two, a calm alertness. Take care. See you soon.